1 year after release, Stalker 2 has finally reached the point where people can say, okay, this is closer to the game we were promised. Patch 1.7 pushed the game forward massively. A-Life finally behaves like a living system instead of a spawn machine at times. Still, we have a long way to go with A-Life, performance that doesn't tank every time you turn around, and a steady stream of updates that turn a disaster launch into something generally playable. But here's the twist. Some players think Stalker 2 is the best it's ever been, and others swear it's in the worst shape yet. So what's actually true? And more importantly, what's happening in 2026 that could finally make Stalker 2 complete or break it for good? Let's rewind, reset, and dig into everything GSC has confirmed and everything that's quietly brewing underneath. Stalker 2 launched with 15 years of hype behind it, and all the warning signs that it might crack under its own weight. Delays, a full engine shift to Unreal Engine 5, developments during an invasion, and yes, the pressure of launching on Game Pass day one. Whatever the reason, the game came out rough, A-Life barely functioned, cutscenes looked like they were held together with duct tape, performance dipped even on top hardware, and bugs constantly shattered immersion. The one thing a Stalker game absolutely relies on. But here's where the narrative flipped. GSC didn't go silent. They patched and patched and patched again. Fast forward a year, A-Life actually roams, loots, fights over territory, and exists outside Skiff's radius. Is it perfect? No, but it finally acts like a simulated world. Optimization is leagues better. We got night vision, new weapons, UI upgrades, a new mutant hunting side arc, better console performance, and almost the entire 2025 roadmap delivered. And most importantly, players on PlayStation 5, especially new fans, are generally loving the game. While veteran PC players are split, some say it's finally playable, others say it's buggier than launch. Firstly, pre-placed artifacts are still underground. Yes, there is a solution. Start a new save file. Additionally, now guns are falling, some NPCs as well, underground. Bearers shoot kill you through walls, and do you think it's pointless to hide when they now spawn in a group? But I promise you, more updates are coming. Now let's talk about what the developers themselves confirmed is coming next, because that's where things get interesting. Leave a like if you're enjoying the video so far, and make sure to stick around until the end. We have some exciting mod news to discuss. During multiple low-key interviews celebrating the PlayStation 5 release, GSC finally opened up about what's coming. The Unreal Engine 5 upgrade 5.5.4 was described as a massive undertaking, not a patch, not an update, but a foundational rebuild. They can't promise timing, but they did promise significant optimization boosts, better draw distance, more A-Life systems, fewer limitations on future content, and this is the milestone that will decide Stalker 2's future. If this lands nicely, the game enters its golden era. If it doesn't, well, let's hope it does. When asked about new missions on the roadmap, GSC basically said, we can't answer without spoiling, which translates to they're coming very soon. And it's more than just small side jobs. As for the story DLC plan for 2026, the answer was a simple yes. They're focusing on quality, a deeper look into the zone's mysteries, new and returning characters, more iconic set pieces, and a gripping storyline. And when asked if Skiff returns as the protagonist, they dodged the question entirely, which means something's up. Even with all the progress, several key features from the roadmap still aren't here, binoculars are still missing, and while they should have been in the game from day one, they likely arrive with the UE5 upgrade when the draw distance finally supports them. The full Phase 2 modding SDK is also missing. Once we get that narrative, audio, and localization tools, the modding scene will explode. This is how Stalker games live forever. And then there's post-game exploration and NG+. This is becoming the #1 community request. Players love their builds, their gear, their stories. GSC hasn't confirmed it yet, but it's a feature they can't ignore forever. With the engine update and 2 DLCs for 2026, at a push, we might see Stalker 2 multiplayer in late 2026. It looks likely to be a 2027 window. I personally, and you can agree or disagree, and that's okay, would rather them expand the zone even more with high quality updates and scrap multiplayer. I know some of you are super excited to see how multiplayer works in Stalker 2. Not much has been said about the mode, but expect a player versus player mode with team deathmatch and maybe 1 versus 1. Sadly, I doubt we'll see co-op play where you can complete the story with friends. Dataman has also found the beginnings of a fully modular difficulty system, letting players customize economy settings, mutant density, Stalker AI difficulty, anomaly hazard levels, and even more updates to Master and Expedition mode. This is exactly what players have been asking for: more replayability, more challenging options, more roleplay depth. I have an idea of what to expect from the first DLC with all the odd clues. Something big will likely happen in Yantar. We have many areas we cannot access without using commands to get to them, but if you travel back to certain places on the map, more and more detail is added with each new patch. If you've been watching me for a while, you will know that I was one of the first to mention that the engine update is coming, and that from my sources will likely happen around February or March, followed by the first DLC shortly after. This makes sense. Make sure the Unreal Engine update is stable and then release the DLC. Stalker 2 still needs a lot of work before the DLC comes out, but it's so much better than it was this time last year. I now have a tracking tool thanks to S.T.A.L.K.E.R, which lets you track NPCs across the zone and will give me a deeper understanding of A-Life in the zone. Speaking of A-Life, S.T.A.L.K.E.R has a new mod out today called Render, which increases the spawn bubble to 150 meters. Very cool to see from this footage provided by Shay. Check out his channel. I'll be covering this mod plus Shay's Living Breathing Zone on Friday, breaking down how it tweaks A-Life, so make sure to subscribe for that. If you want some updates on Beta Decay, check out this video next on screen.